Guys, today in this video we will be talking about LVP, low visibility procedure, or I should say low visibility operation, LVO. So in the umbrella of low visibility operations, low visibility takeoff and Cat 2, Cat 3 approaches comes. We'll talk about low visibility takeoff particularly in this video. We'll be talking about all the cross questions that can be asked in your ATPL interviews or airline interviews. This video is not for airline pilots. I have made a separate video for LVTO simulator sessions or LVTO information you need as an airline pilot. That is a different video. This video contains enough information for your ATPL and airline interviews and cross questions that can be asked. So stay tuned. I'll be right back to walk you through it. Namaskar, I hope you all are doing great. Let's start this video. So interviewer expect you to have basic information of low visibility procedures and low visibility operation. So what all questions they can ask you about LVOs? Some general questions are: what does LVO means? Then what is LVTO? And what all equipments are required in the aircraft to do a low visibility takeoff or landing. What all aerodrome facilities are required to do a low visibility operations. Okay, then what are the flight crew capabilities to perform low visibility takeoffs and landings, right? So I make it clear there are three different components to perform low visibility operations. Number one, aerodrome facilities. Like your aerodrome should be suitable to do or to perform low visibility operations. Number two, your aircraft. Your aircraft and its equipment. They should have some specific equipments on board which are required to perform a low visibility operations. Third is flight crew capabilities. Not all pilots can do LVTO operations. Okay, so these are the three components. When these three components meets and fulfill the requirement of the state authorities, then only you can perform a low visibility operation. Now after understanding the basic structure of this LVO, LVP or LVTO, now let's start with some definitions and answer of those questions. Very first question, which is: what is low visibility operation or low visibility procedure? So low visibility procedure refer to the aircraft operations in low visibility, right? It includes low visibility takeoff and Cat 2, Cat 3 landings. Perfect, simple, clear. Second question, what is LVTO? What do you mean by low visibility takeoff? So by the definition, this is the term used in relation to the flight operations referring to takeoff on runway where RVR is less than 400 meter. Is it clear? Less than 400 meter. So it means if RVR is more than 400 meter, then you can do a normal takeoff. Then there is no need to fulfill all the requirements of low visibility operations which I have mentioned, right? But if RVR is less than 400 meter, then you will be doing a low visibility takeoff, and then you will have to fulfill all the requirements and follow rules and regulations given by the state authorities. In India, DGCA, in US FAA, and similarly. Make sense? Now what are the requirements? As I told you, there are three components: aerodrome facility, aircraft and its equipment, and third is flight crew should be capable. Now let's start with the aerodrome facility. What facilities you should have at the aerodrome to perform low visibility takeoffs? Okay. Number one, runway markings, lightings, and navigational equipments. Okay. Number 2, taxiway centerline lights. Number 3, runway taxiway and runway intersection stop bar lights. Number 4, runway high intensity edge lights. 5th, runway centerline lights. Then 6th, road holding position lights. And then 7, illuminated signs and low visibility operational plan. And number 7, illuminated signs and low visibility operation plan, that is called LVOP. LVOP should be there at that airport, right? It means there should be a particular plan for that airport in case of low visibility. Now the second thing comes about the aircraft and its equipment. So what are those equipment that are required? Yeah, that is the shortcut. What? W stands for windshield wipers for both the pilot and co-pilot. H stands for window heat for all heated cockpit windows. A stands for anti-skid system and T stands for thrust reversers for all engines. Correct? So this is the shortcut WHAT. So these 4 equipment should be there. And these are the major aircraft equipments which are required. Other than this, you need weather radar and I think 2 VHF comm sets and VHF nav sets. Okay. For more detailed information, you can refer civil aviation requirement car of your state authority. In India, you can refer DGCA car, all weather operations, section 8, series C, part 1. Now, third thing comes, which is flight crew capabilities. Okay. Yes, flight crew should be approved. If you as a pilot are not approved for low visibility takeoff and Cat 2, Cat 3 approaches, then no matter all these equipments your aircraft has, no matter all these facilities your aerodrome has, you cannot take off because of the obvious reason you are not approved and you are not capable. Now, what are the requirements for the flight crew? As per civil aviation requirement of DGCA, a pilot should have a certain number of flying experience. Then only they can perform this LVTO. I don't think at this stage, if you are going for ATPL interviews or airline interviews, you need or you should have this information, right? This is very technical, and if you are doing your simulator sessions or about to release and about to fly the aircraft, then only that makes sense for you. So I'll explain this thing in the another video which I was telling you, that is for LVTO simulator session or for the line pilots. Correct? Now you have a good idea that if you want to take off below 400 meter RVR, then you should have all these things which I have discussed. Now let's dig deeper into it. As per CAR, if aerodrome has runway lights or runway centerline markings, then you can take off with 400 meter of RVR. Correct? Now, when we improve the aerodrome infrastructure, then you can take off with even lower RVR. It makes sense, correct? Suppose you have better facilities. You have runway edge lights and runway centerline markings. Then you can take off with 300 meter of RVR. Further, let's suppose your aerodrome is much more advanced. Like you have runway edge lights and runway centerline lights, then you can take off with 200 meter of RVR. Please pay attention on the lights or markings and the word and or. This is very important. Next, if you have runway edge lights and runway centerline lights plus relevant RVR information. Then you can take off with 150 meter of RVR. Now what does that relevant RVR means? The required RVR must be achieved for all relevant RVR reporting points: touchdown, midpoint and stop end. That is also called rollout RVR. The governing RVR shall be the lowest of the reported RVR. Okay, what if you have a high intensity runway edge lighting? That is even better in low visibility scenarios, right? So if you have high intensity runway edge lights and runway centerline lights with a spacing of 15 meter or less plus relevant RVR information, then you can take off with 125 meter of RVR. Okay, what's next? If you have high intensity runway edge lights and runway centerline lights spacing 15 meter or less plus relevant RVR, same as above, plus approved lateral guidance system, then you can take off with 75 meter of RVR. Now you can imagine, this is how, if you have better and better infrastructure at the airport, then you can perform operations in even very low RVR conditions. So guys, this information seems enough for initial stage. If you want to know the procedure we follow in real life, how to perform taxi in low visibility, how to perform takeoff, what all things you need to consider during the real flying, then you can refer this video. You can share this video with your friends who are going for ATPL interviews or airline interviews. There might have some corrections in this video. If you find any incorrect or inappropriate information, then you can please write down in the comments. I'll definitely correct it or pin your comment. I'm not a instructor or a very senior pilot, just a first officer who recently started flying A320s. What I share here is based on what I have learned during my training. I have written it in a way that is easy to understand, because reading directly from the books can be a bit challenging. My goal is to visually represent the content of the books along with what I have taught during the training to make it more accessible. The sole purpose of this YouTube channel is to provide you the information you need as a trainee. I strive to share the tips and tricks that I use, as well as those I learned from my peers and seniors. I hope you learned something new. मेरा नाम है अभिषेक शर्मा, चैनल का नाम है फ्लाइंग और पीस. मैं ऐसी वीडियोस बनाता रहता हूँ. You can explore the playlist section of my channel, where you will find curated and organized collection of videos for different stages of training. Thank you for your time and energy. Jai Hind.